Welcome back to One Comic Book a Day, where we're covering Superboy issue 12, The Heroes Club, which is the first story. Not as exciting as it sounds like. It's not a club for heroes. It's more of a Daughters of the American Revolution or Daughters of the Confederacy. One of those being way better than the other. And if you need to stop and think of which one of those that is, you need to really look at your life decisions and opinions. Actually, my wife could have been a Daughter of the Confederacy. She pretty quickly said hell no to a family member that offered that. So I guess I gave away which one's the bad one. Anyway, this is more of a club where you have some sort of historically important ancestor who did something great, usually war related. And you come to this club with evidence of that, which you have to do for like the DAR and probably the Daughters of Confederacy as well. I don't really care. We have to show some sort of evidence to be allowed into that group that so-and-so was actually part of the American Revolution. You have to actually show why this ancestor was a hero. This poses a problem for James Gordon, Jim Gordon. Well, actually, it's Jim Gordon and the ancestor is James Gordon, which both are true to the name. And if your first thought is this Commissioner Gordon? No, he does exist in Batman right now, whose name is James, but goes by Jim Gordon. It's a completely different James or Jim Gordon. I don't know why they went with this name, seeing how prominent Gordon is in Batman, even at this time. He was definitely more prominent where we are in reading Batman earlier in the 1940s than like getting into World War II. He sort of disappeared a little bit, though I don't think he's disappeared completely. I just think they found other ways to get into a story than having Bruce talk to Gordon. But we're not talking about Batman right now. His ancestor, by his diary, sounds like a hero, but he had done a lot of crimes, essentially. So after his evidence is destroyed, he has to go about proving this. And this is what this story ends up being, him going to people related or possibly having some memory, because I think it's his great-grandfather, about these actions he supposedly pulled. Each one revealing that maybe something else was going on at the time, like he was stopping a worse crime by committing something that seemed bad at the time. This has led to a little problem with images for this issue, as there isn't actually a lot of action, and I'm fine with that. I love the smaller stake stories. It's just the conversations are particularly very interesting. And I could have done with a little less dialogue and a little more depicting of what exactly was happening back then. It's way too easy for Superboy to prove these things. He does, in fact, help because something happens in each thing, proving that, well, the current Jim Gordon is kind of a hero and belongs in the club no matter what. None of it's particularly all that well depicted. And it's not very involved like a lot of his action sequences, but to call these action sequences is a disservice to action sequences. And the solution is just way too easy for Clark just to go to the United States government and find out that he was secretly working for the government the whole time to stop these criminals to begin with. So he makes a statue and brings it over, and I guess that's the evidence, because people just believe Superboy. He could rule that town if he wanted to. He basically does. So I enjoy the idea that it's a small stake story, but we really needed to figure out why Superboy was in this story. We kept trying to find ways for him to be in there. And this kind of surprised me, because this feels like a story where he travels back in time to solve the crime. And that probably would have been more interesting and more involved for Superboy. But we're not like rewriting the story. We needed to find a different way for Superboy to be more involved and to help Jim. And honestly, I don't think it needed to be proven that James Gordon was some sort of hero. I think Jim proved it himself throughout the story, and that was maybe the better arc and statement. Okay, that is it from Superboy issue 12, The Heroes Club. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notifications when a new video goes up. We do this Monday through Friday, but Fridays is Bat Friday, where I cover a Batman story and either Detective Comics or Batman. And until next time, let's ponder the question, whatever did happen to the boy of tomorrow. And do you think this Jim Gordon has any relation to the other Jim Gordon? Okay, have a great day.